what up? Welcome back to the solar system series known as Have You Thought About It This Way? Where we talk about the most detail-oriented sign in this ecliptic known as Virgo. So, today we're going to be talking about Moon in Virgo, right? So, Moon in Virgo, Moon in Virgo. So, let's break this down a little bit. Starting with the Moon, right? So, the Moon is known to be it's basically your mind. It's where your mind lies. It's where you basically react, respond, and refine the light that you've emitted or you've received from others. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being the case, this kind of is basically how you feel. It's how you respond. It's your emotional state. And fun fact that you notice how I said respond and react and all that shit. It's actually the only astrological chakra system that you kind of like globber onto when you incarnate into this realm of reality that actually has the ability to react and make decisions in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's an interesting capacity. It's that's cool. I don't know any other freaking chakra wheel that we got going on, that tools that we can use to help us react to situations. And fun fact for this, your moon is basically tied and correlated to your third and or first eye, depending on what aspect of the consciousness or subconscious community you tie onto. But that's neither here nor there. We got to get into the Virgo aspect before I start globbering on all these details. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about Virgo a little bit, right? Virgo is the sign of mutable earth. It means it's adaptable and changeable to different ways of feeling and not feeling, of thinking and practicality. Virgo, feel, not really. Sorry this sign, but, it's the luck of the draw here. Anyways, so Virgo is born from the 6th house. The 6th house is basically the life situation that rules over the work process in general. So it deals with frickin', scheduling, creating the blueprint for what you want to do, working with what you got, breaking down the steps and situations and details of whatever you're trying to create, and actually following through on that process based off of the pertinence of the situation and which aspect is most urgent at the moment, and just following through and actually taking the most efficient means of this process to achieve whatever your desire set out to do. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, this is kind of the overarching influence that Virgos have, that Virgos take with them. Basically, your upbringing is where you get programmed, you know what I'm saying? So with this being the place that the Virgo constellation was born from, this is the subconscious programming that it takes with it throughout its life course. And basically with its, life situation of influencing all of us based off all the signs we're angled with, this is what it carries with, and this is what it basically projects onto whoever is, under its influence, I wanted to say afflicted there, but that kind of sounded like a thing to say. Anyways, with that being the case, I'm just, pardon me about the details, man, I'm just getting bogged down by just the concept of a Virgo moon, Once we get into that, you will understand that too, The moon in Virgo is that, moon in Virgo in a nutshell is basically, you can describe it as that, there's just never enough I can get done. You just always feel like that. It's just, it's a bitch, ain't it? But anyways, back to the whole Virgo alignments and what basically, how you basically find out the archetype of Virgo. So let's run down the planetary alignments that basically breaks down this archetype, right? So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, sort of exalted in it, it really loves to be in Mercury, and it is away in Jupiter, it is also away in Neptune, and then it falls in Venus, the planet of love, appreciating values, and relating to others. If you ever have received constructive criticism from a Virgo or any person with a Virgo alignment, you will understand this freaking Venus alignment very well, Anyways, with all that being said, let's go break down the traits of these freaking Moon and Virgo people, right? So, having your emotional state, your feelings, and the way you react and respond to things placed in the sign of Virgo. The sign of, the work process, scheduling, detailing, breaking down everything, and, feeling like the blueprint and trying to make not only your process of working towards this situation more efficient, but the process, whatever you're working towards, making that more efficient itself on top of your own ability to be efficient, right? Having your feelings placed in that is just No, man. Like, who the fuck wants to feel like they're in the work process all the time? You don't want to feel like that. Unless you're working, you're never gonna feel like you're just, you're doing good. You're just gonna feel like, when you're sitting down, just working, a hard day's work is done, you're gonna be like, I can't wait to get back to it, But you're not really gonna feel like that. You're gonna feel like you have to get back to something, and it's just gonna basically, you're just gonna be walking around in the space of like, oh, I never have to, really? I still gotta do that? You want me to do that? I gotta do this? Like, being in the space of a freaking, like, Moon and Virgo person is just, like, you may have freaking anxiety every time your freaking phone rings, so you're just like, oh, what else do I gotta do? Even if it's your friend texting you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, oh, what is it now? Oh, what is it now? It's like you're freaking programmed to be, like, shocked, and it's just like, oh, what do I have to get done? Is this right? Is this okay? Did I do this job right? I don't want to say you're always gonna feel like that, but you kind of will, and it just won't be to, like, the degrees of you actually having, like, anxiety and, like, needing, being, like, someone in freaking SoCal being like, where's my Zoloft, You're not gonna be like that all the time, but there will be undertones of, like, you're just, like, having your freaking emotion and feelings placed in this sign is just, like, just the way you it's just, I feel bad for you, man. Like, it's just kind of like, what are you gonna do? It's just, But yeah, I mean, bouncing off the kind of like, aspect to it, this comes from sort of having a Moon in Virgo just kind of making you feel like you have to, like, perfect everything. It makes you feel like, you can't be perfect in a way, that you have to, like, perfect yourself, since it's how you feel. And it's just, it can get you down at times, man. It'll fuck with you. It can really push you to those points of being like, do I really want to do this anymore? Do I really want to do that anymore? You may, sometimes if, like, work actually gets, like, really stressful and like some situation that you're working towards gets you really bogged down, you may just want to quit because the degree that you feel that it has to be is just so out of this world that it's just like nobody really feels like it has to be perfect to that degree anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, in some weird way, Moon and Virgo people are the most down-to-earth people that you can possibly meet, but bear in mind it's like a weird way, because it's like the level of perfection that they feel that what they're working towards or anything they do has to be at is so out of this world, and it's just like, I know I could be all up here, I can touch the fucking sun, but whatever that, like, Greek story is, who flew too close to the sun, that's kind of how Moon and Virgo people just feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's just placed in that. But, anyways, now, like, having that feeling kind of, like, just in general, that's how you'll sort of feel when you see other people that you're talking to, you know what I'm saying? So if you're talking to someone that's like, very jubilant, very jovial, and, like, thinks they can do anything, you may kind of feel like you gotta tear that person down because you're just like, oh, they don't know about this, oh, they don't know about that, oh, they don't know about this, and this, how do they, you think you can bench press 138 pounds? Oh, you haven't even bench pressed nothing before and you're 12 years old? Oh, let me tell you something there. Let me break you down so you don't have the world break you down for you. Like, I'm not saying Moon and Virgo people will always do that to, like, a kid and just, like, shatter their dreams. But they will do, like, they'll sort of feel like they gotta enlighten them to where their, emotional position kind of is, you know what I'm saying? And they'll do that via damaging details. It's be like, oh, well, do you really want to work to that and just try to bench that right away and possibly tear your upper pec and be out of it for a little bit, Like, Moon and Virgo people kind of neglect the fact that, you can be sort of uplifting and just, like, if you actually feel, good about yourself and maybe good about your situation and actually feel like, it'll work out, that these things will actually follow through. And they can kind of, get a little, with their feelings a little bit when it comes to, like, kind of projecting that onto other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be helpful if they kind of just, like, put that fallen Venus to the side and let that, like, jovial person, like, rub off on them some type of way. But having, like, a sort of happy person like that won't really rub off a Moon and Virgo person well at all. They'll probably get even more angry and more, like, kind of like, you don't want to tell them why they're wrong and sort of just like tear into that person and just like break them down and like, no, you're not as great as you think you are. You shouldn't be that happy. But that's kind of just a Moon and Virgo person. Obviously, like they won't really do that like off the bat if they see that person. Like they'll like the freaking happy person or the freaking like whatever extra feeling they got going on. They'll have to really work up this Moon and Virgo person because they don't really want to go out of their way to break that person down. It'll just remind them of kind of what they don't have for themselves, you know what I'm saying? But once again, it has to be like a reasonably high degree to actually set them off, you know what I'm saying? Like these people, they are cool, they know how to work a situation. They just feel like, perfection is something that just can't be achieved in this lifetime, in this body, and they sort of get annoyed when anyone thinks otherwise, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, enough about them being like too imperfect. What they can do is they can really achieve. They actually like through working on achieving this level of perfection, they will actually get damn near close. You know what I'm saying? A lot closer than anybody else. And if they actually stick to something and don't let that feeling make them quit, they will come up. Anything they do will come up with something so it'll be pretty damn fantastic that most people that don't have that level of perfection that they like to work towards being like, damn, really? You actually did this? And that'll actually, they may still go through the conversation and like, because they feel like it isn't perfect themselves, and they'll just be like, oh, it ain't that good. This is just something I cooked up on the side, even though it's something they've been working toward for like a year, or even longer. Who knows how long they've been keeping it to themselves to where they feel okay about like sharing it with the world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like don't doubt yourself too much, Moon and Virgos. That feeling will help you create a lot of beautiful things, In some ways, life kind of acts as a frequency, And when you sort of apply that like negative situation for yourself, yes, you may manifest a lot of bullshit ass situations that are kind of like trifling, but with you taking the like, the sort of downward part of the roller coaster into your own hands, that gives you a lot of opportunity to work towards the up part and also keep that in your own hands and actually experience it in a more beautiful way because you took the initiative to go through the bullshit on your own and actually work through what you needed to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, but if you are actually taking the route of being like, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and, it may work out in your favor that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you can, go through things with the path of least resistance in some situation, but if you are taking this more of a route due to your alignments and, sorry, it's what you got, you'll handle it pretty well. Anyways, let's talk about the technical aspects that led me to these conclusions, you know what I'm saying? So, Moon. Moon is basically your emotional state, how you react and respond. It's correlated to your third and or first eye, depending on what part of the consciousness or subconscious community you subscribe to. And no YouTube pun intended. And it's your insights. It reflects and refines the light that you actually experience throughout your life. And that's pretty much it. When it's placed in Virgo, Virgo, right? This is Moon in Virgo. But Virgo is born from the 6th house, the house of the work process. It's ruled by Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, as well as kind of exalted in there. Virgo loves its Mercury. Let me just put it that way. And it is also away in Jupiter, away in Neptune, and then it falls in Venus, the planet of love, appreciation, values, and relating to others, So, with that being said, thanks for following our solar system series known as Have You Thought About It This Way? And where we talk about the most detail-oriented sign in this ecliptic, known as Virgo. Anyways, peace.